Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Fridays with Sandy Kreisberg in Cape Cod, doing a little vacation time right now, I think.
This is our vacation. This is our vacation show.
And we've got Patrick in Ohio. Patrick is actually a senior at Youngstown State. He is majoring in chemical engineering. He has a very impressive 3.8 GPA. Wish I could say that about myself. He's yet to take the GRE, but he scheduled it for October. He's a 2+2 candidate at Harvard Business School. And the interesting thing about Patrick, I think, is the last two summers he has spent as a research fellow. Last summer at Stanford, summer before that at Georgetown. He's also president of the American Institute of Engineers and president of the National Society of Black Engineers, which clearly show his leadership potential. Otherwise, he has a bunch of internships, including one at a technology firm called TTM right now. So what do you think, Sandy?
2+2 is a hyper-competitive program. We know that, particularly at HBS. Patrick, are you interested in 2+2 type programs? Where else
Yes,
are you
sir.
applying?
I plan on applying to Booth, Stanford, and Wharton. Stanford is, my number one right now.
Okay, so Stanford 2+2, man, that's tough. John, tell them how hard that is to get into.
Oh boy, that is very hard, very, very hard. All these 2+2 type programs are hard to begin with, and the competition is really severe. So it's good that you're applying to 4 different programs. Let me put it that way, okay?
Yeah. And for folks at home, the 2+2 programs, a lot of people do not get into the 2+2 program, let's say at HBS, but they do get in 2-4 years later, okay? Now, Patrick, you're 28 years old, did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
28 is a little old on the 2+2 side. That would mean you'd be entering as a 31, 32, right?
Correct.
Okay, we're going to call that the outer bound of normalcy, the outer bounds of normalcy in terms of how old people are. So I think you're on the old side, but I think you're within, you're not, 40. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so we got, tell the folks about Youngstown State and why you went there.
I'm born and raised in Youngstown. I'm a first-generation college student, so I chose Youngstown State. They have a very good engineering program, and also I wanted to make sure I was able to stay around my family and just really, my good support base.
Good. Okay, those are good reasons. And as a rule, people from Youngstown State, you said they apply to law school, but not business school.
Yeah, we have a lot of individuals go to, bigger, law schools, the Harvards, the Yales, the top law university. But more so, I don't, know of any individuals who went on to, HBS and my target.
I think you could be the business school rep, because let me tell you there, as we all know, smart kids are not going to law school anymore. They know what a lousy profession it is. So the real smart kids. And let me say, could all the lawyers on this transmission raise their hands? I don't know if you can see that.
There's one right there.
Yeah, you could do them a favor there. Okay. One of the things about you now, you've worked at how many companies? You've worked at a lot of companies. That's something that needs explaining here.
So I worked at 3 companies. So if I can walk you through, currently I am an automation engineering intern at TTM Technologies. We're a printed circuit board manufacturer, one of the largest internationally. As I work as an automation engineer, my goal is mainly to try to increase whether it's labor efficiency, quality, or safety of different processes using my engineering background.
Okay, with your resume and with your explanation, I understand that, but if you're going to go through with this process, you're going to have to get your act really down. We will use this as a shakedown.
Nah,
When
listen,
somebody says, "Tell me about,"
I need the tough love, Sandy. Like I enjoy it. Like, you know, don't
yeah,
let up.
okay, right. I'm not letting up. Don't worry. When someone says, you know, "Tell me about TTM technologies," you really have to deliver on the button. You've got to say it's a circuit board designer. I do this. Bang, bang, bang. You really got to have that correct, and you've got to be able to walk through your resume real fast. Okay, and then what is this Cthulhu Prime Meets, where you're a business consultant intern? We got circuit boards and Prime Meats here. That's a good.
So Cthulhu Prime Meats is a local butcher shop stationed in Boardman, Ohio. So I was brought on as an e-commerce business consultant. So I work with their online stores.
Through a butcher shop?
Yeah, they're a butcher shop. So, but they do. So I work with the online stores and the e-commerce side of things.
How many outlets do they have?
So outlets meaning like storefronts, or
Yeah.
oh, it's just one storefront.
Okay. So they want to go online and sell online.
No, so they when I was brought in, they were already online, but you know, things were, you know, not, I don't want to use the term messy, but a little bit confusing. So what I came in to do was be able to, you know, like use my technical background as far as, you know, being able to lay things out on the finance side, and also be able to figure out ways to make a lot of the processes more lean in a sense, and figure out, you know, how to increase, decrease the amount of errors.
Is there a backstory here? Is this your uncle's store, or you just walked in there and sold him a
how it works
salty
is,
contract?
So how it worked was, I had the background in the company that I worked with prior was Perishable Shipping Solutions. So they're at the e-commerce logistics company, third party, who works with online grocers. So different companies and the COO owns Cthulhu Prime Meats. So I worked there. I had that background. I had experience in understanding that part of the supply chain. And
so that was a follow-on job. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So Patrick, is that a black-owned business?
No, it's not. It's the guy. He's Italian.
He's Italian, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, calling John.
Italian butcher. Uh-oh.
John considers himself Italian, even with a waspy name like John Byrne. Hey, what
makes good sausage?
Okay, now you've got two really powerful things here. You've got this National Society of Black Engineers that you're the president. So could you tell us what your presidential duties are and what the National Society of Black Engineers is, including, how many people belong to it?
So currently we have, I said 20 plus members, as I put on the resume right now, because when we start, depending on how many students come back and how many students are interested, but in the fall we had, I'm gonna say about 23 members. So National Society of Black Engineers is, our goal is to increase, the academic excellence of, African-American engineers and engineers of minority, specifically in universities. Being African-American myself, it's a lot of times I'm the only in class. What we try to do as an organization is give, different students some type of support system to, help push them on.
I noticed on your resume, you say like you organized a resume review day.
So we had
job opportunities. Yeah, so that's a good one. Okay, so that's the National Society of Black Engineers as president. That's a real leadership thing. The schools are going to love that. Then this P2P mentorship program, you work with people in incarcerated individuals, as they say. Do you have like one mentee there, or what?
Yeah, I have one mentee. He goes to the Colorado School of Mines, studying, majoring in physics. So he would like to pursue his PhD in I think it's astrophysics is what he looks to do. So, my job is just mainly to try to give him pointers and techniques, and, how I've been able to, to stay stern as far as my studies and my skill set, and being able to just.
So you could be like a role model in many different ways.
Exactly.
That's good. And then you're the president of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers.
Yes, sir.
These are both like a big deal, man.
So it's a much larger organization at my university. Like I said, playing off of that, we also do Chemi Core. So the thing is, like, my goal is always to be able to increase the community amongst, because engineers can be very, I guess, to say,
Okay,
weird.
let me interrupt you. This is real important. You're the president of the Youngstown State University
Yes.
chapter of the
Yes, sir.
American Institute. Man, they'll fry you for that, okay?
You got to make that clear right up front. Otherwise, they'll think, you're trying to pad it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll think you're trying to fake them out. They'll either say, look, man, you either don't know how to make a resume or you're trying to fake me out, and either one of them is no good.
I got you.
Is there someone at Youngstown who could go through this with you, review the resume?
Yes.
Yeah, and like the career office?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell them you spoke to some friends and they said there are things here that I got to make real super clear. And that's a real important job, man. That's the one way you could screw this.
In a way, I think there are almost too many internships. It's like too many trees in the forest.
Okay.
I almost feel like the way to organize this resume, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, Sandy, which I'm sure you will, is go first with your research fellowships in the past 2 summers. Only because, everyone knows Georgetown, everyone knows Stanford, okay? And some of these internships that you've done, they don't know these companies or these small outfits. So, and because chronologically, that's how you spent your last 2 summers, I put that way up and I put like research fellowships, and then I put the 2. Then beneath that, I would put internships. And then I might actually clip 1 or 2 to put more focus on the more meaningful ones, as opposed to giving a laundry list of them. What do you think, Sandy?
Hey, Patrick, did you understand that? Because I didn't.
Yes. Yeah. I got him. I got it. It was clear, John.
Okay, John will send you a note outlining what your resume should look like. And yeah, let's just finish this off with the chess club. What you're the vice president of the chess club, and you create a safe environment for students from diverse backgrounds can play exhibition games. I mean, come on, man, it's the chess club.
It's something I enjoy. I try to teach as many guys as I can. It's my nerd hobby. I enjoy it. And like I said, we just try to be able to create an environment where individuals can come play, have fun, learn the game. Whether this is your first game.
That I understand. That I understand. But what is there something about this diversity thing? Is that part of the mission of the place to introduce underrepresented types to playing chess?
In general, it's just like whoever wants to play. That's we don't have that in mind as far as like pushing diversity and trying to play matchmaker with the game.
It's the chess club. Look, I'm always in favor of taking it to the limit as to explaining what you're doing. But on this one, I would just say it's the chess club, man.
Okay.
We got the X number of members, and I play chess. That's what you really want to say there. Okay, so here's what we got. We got a 28-year-old guy, a chemical engineering type, which is a plus. We got a 3.8. We've got a lot of different experiences. What you don't have are typical feeder firm experiences, like you haven't done a summer at Goldman Sachs or at McKinsey. But in many ways, what you've done is better since you've had technical related jobs. So,
Engineering Stanford and Georgetown are big on this resume.
Right.
Big.
So you got a lot going, and in the 3.8, man, have you ever taken a GMAT or GRE type test? Do you do well on those kind of tests? Or
I practiced a little bit. I took the practice test, so
are you like me and John?
I feel like I can do very well. So I'm more than confident that I can score in the 90th percentile.
You do that, man, and you got a 3.8. You got a 90th percentile in the GRE or the GMAT. You've got this adversity story, first generation college, inner city background, a lot of helping other people, a lot of leadership. President of the National Society of Black Engineers. Man, What are we talking here, John? A 5-letter word.
5-letter word. Is that admit?
After the admit, what's the 5-letter word that comes with it, beginning with M?
I don't know. What is
Money. Yeah,
money.
I mean,
Scholarship
yeah,
money.
you could get a scholarship. You could create. You've got the. I assume you can demonstrate the need for the money, and you're just the guy they're looking for. What you got to do is improve this resume and get your act down. I'm willing to, this has been a valuable experience for you to figure out that it's not so easy to explain yourself, right?
Yes, sir. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you got to be able to get that.
You got a lot going on.
You got to practice that. You got to reduce it. You've got to be able to do that in your sleep. If you're able to do that, man, I think your chances of getting into HBS are real good.
Now you're going to have to get a decent GRE score. But the 3.8 STEM grad for you, that's a big deal.
Yeah, decent GRE score. Like, if you can do 90%, that's great. But I would say all you really need is like 80%.
Okay.
So you're going places, man, but you got to get your act together. You got to get the resume together, and you got to get those standardized testing behind you. That's what I'm saying.
And how does he tell his story? Because there's so many different, elements to it. How would he start the Harvard Business School essay?
My goals are to be a leader in the, what are your goals, Patrick?
So I would like to, currently pursuing a job as an entry-level engineer. I would like to do that for a few years prior to business school. From there, I would like to work as a business consultant at one of the MBB. And then from there, I would like to move into like an executive role at an engineering-based company, whether it be not engineering-based company, but more so like in a consumer products company, J&J, Procter & Gamble, somewhere, one of those type of companies.
Okay, so here's a question that nobody has ever been able to answer, even though I ask it every week and blame people for not answering it. Name 3 people who are like role models for you, who you'd like to be in like 25, 30 years.
So I would have to say Ursula Burns, who I don't know,
who's she?
She's a former she was the former CEO of Xerox. So
Xerox.
Robert Smith
At American Express.
Huh? Oh no, Ken is amazing.
At American Express.
Yeah, Ken is amazing. Robert Smith, as far as Vista Equity Partners, he's also been a very much role model, and also my mother is somebody who's also on that list. She's
yeah, those are role models.
Very
what about tell me what job you want in 30 years?
I want to
you want to be in an engineering executive role at a Johnson & Johnson, right?
Correct. So
yeah, okay, you've got to be able to spit that out, or companies like Johnson & Johnson or leading engineering. What's the biggest company? What's the biggest company in the Fortune 500 that's known primarily for engineering? We'll throw this over to our magazine expert, Dr. Byrne.
Well, you'll immediately go to tech. You'd go to Google.
Yeah, well, you could be you're a Google guy, Patrick. I'm glad we got that in there. You should think.
You could go to Intel. On the tech side.
Intel, Google, those are great. Yeah, those are great. Those are things you should keep in mind. You should research those companies, see what people with engineering backgrounds do there, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, you're going to have a great outcome. Just fix your resume and get your act together. So when you have your 2+2 interview, well, the interview is more important than the essay. But yeah, get the essay. Just say my goals are to be an impactful engineering leader, and I've had several influences, including work influence at my current internship. I've had tremendous personal influences. My mother has been an influence, and I've had experiences. What experiences have influenced you?
My experience as with the entrepreneur endeavors and just being able to take what I know on.
Man.
Say that again.
So you've got professional experience. You've got professional influences. You've got extracurricular influences and personal influences. That's what you should talk about in your essay. How those influences were important to you in creating the goal that you want to be an impactful leader of a tech engineering company.
Okay.
That's your story.
So, all right. So as far as my
So if
personal,
he executes well on his application, what are his odds at Harvard? I like to push Sandy.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
Sure he gets there.
50%. Yeah,
You're
I'm
an
answering.
industry lover,
50%. There's a good chance you could blow the interview.
but you got to execute well. Yeah. Stanford is much more selective, of course.
Yeah, Stanford, man, if there's ever a Stanford applicant, it's you, buddy.
You got a lot of good stuff in here for Stanford,
Yeah.
including the fact that you spent the summer on their campus.
You got any friends there, like professors?
yes, sir. So the professor I work with, Janai Bao, she's the head of their chemical engineering department.
Okay, can she recommend you or put in a friendly word?
Yes, yes, sir. She would be more than willing to write a recommendation letter for me if I asked.
So job one is working on her, tell you the truth. And job two is working on your resume. It's more important than your resume. If she recommends you, they'll wink at your resume.
No, you got to clean that resume up. Make it simple.
Oh, no, most definitely.
Okay, we're getting, our producer is.
All righty. Patrick, good luck to you. We're rooting for you. We want you to be where you want to be.
Okay.
And we feel good that you're going to get there.
All right, thank you.
And for all of you out there, hey, if you want Sandy to, give you a little tough love, let us know. Sandy has plenty of love and a lot of toughness. Definitely. All right. Hey, good luck. And for all of you out there, thanks for watching. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants.